What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and this time I'm going to be ranking the top 6 live-action portrayals of Batman in spirit of the release of Matt Reeves' Batman film. So, let's waste no time, let's get into the ranking. Coming in at number 6 is George Clooney, who portrayed the character in Joel Schumacher's 1997 abomination, Batman and Robin. My thoughts on Batman and Robin aside, over the years I've grown to appreciate that movie for being a bombastic, just fun, silly, stupid movie that captures the spirit of Adam West Batman and the artistry of the legendary Dick Sprang. Now, in terms of its acting, it's bad. In terms of George Clooney's portrayal, hit and miss. As Batman, I think George Clooney looks very, very awkward and very clunky as the character of Batman. But as Bruce Wayne, I think he captures that billionaire socialite pretty damn good. Some of George Clooney's best scenes is when he's not in costume and when he's interacting with people as the Bruce Wayne persona. His scenes with Alfred, I thought, are actually very, very good and very, very poignant. And if it was in a serious movie, that entire subplot of Alfred, dying and Bruce Wayne trying to accept it, could have been a really good character arc for him. But in the context of what the movie we got in, they're just mini bright spots in an overall bad movie. A so good it's bad movie, I'm going to say. So yeah, that's really all I got to say about George Clooney as the character. A decent Bruce Wayne, a horrible Batman. Coming in at number 5 is Val Kilmer, who portrayed the character in Batman Forever, Joel Schumacher's first Batman movie. Everyone's thoughts on Batman Forever aside, Batman Forever as a movie is grossly underappreciated and grossly underrated. It's not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination, but Joel Schumacher tried to balance out the pretty over the top neon coloring and still tried to do something serious with it. You can clearly tell that Joel Schumacher wanted to do a more darker Batman movie. His original idea was to do a Batman Year One adaptation, and you can tell that when he's doing the scenes of Bruce Wayne, reflecting on his past, that's really the movie that Joel Schumacher wanted to do. And I think Val Kilmer's performance reflects that. I think as Batman, Kilmer is actually not that bad. As Bruce Wayne, he was one of the first actors to really tap into the dark psyche of Bruce Wayne's character by having him go back into the past and by having him recount memories at what caused him to be Batman. The whole idea of Bruce Wayne not forgetting how he became Batman is actually a very interesting idea. Like, this man's brain and his soul is so damaged, he can't remember his own triggering point because Batman has consumed his life so much. If this movie script took itself much more seriously and Joel Schumacher didn't have a whole lot of restraints to him, that could have been an awesome aspect to explore in Batman Forever. Kilmer touched on it with his performance, and I think his performance at capturing a more darker Bruce Wayne is actually pretty solid, but it's overall really, really flawed because, again, this movie is trying to appeal to a more broader audience by having the colorful neon and the over-the-top goofiness to it and acting more like a live-action cartoon than a serious movie. And Kilmer does have a lot of scenes where his dialogue can come across as really, really clunky, very, very stilted, and you can tell that he's very uncomfortable in saying certain dialogue pieces. But as an overall portrayal, I thought Kilmer was extremely underrated. Coming in at number 4 is Adam West. You cannot deny Adam West's importance to the Batman mythos and to the Batman character. The 1960s show was such a pop culture phenomenon. It is almost ridiculous as to how popular that show was in the 1960s when it was made. It was the first time that the Batman character was really portrayed to a mainstream audience on a weekly basis. You had Adam West, who is a fantastic actor and was really good at the theater of the absurd, which basically is you're in a situation that is so over the top and so just out of the ordinary, but you play it totally straight and you just accept it for what it is. That is Adam West and how he portrayed the character of Batman. And for its time, it was really, really good. Adam West did a lot for the Batman character. Even though the show didn't really explore a whole lot of Bruce Wayne, it explored a lot of Batman, but it was good. Adam West all around was really, really good. He played a very good version for the time period of the Cape Crusader as Batman. It's memorable. You still talk about it, and you still get some nostalgic feelings when you watch the 1960 show. My first exposure to Adam West Batman, I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I had the Batman movie from 1966, in which Batman and Robin team up to take on the Injustice League of villains of Joker, Riddler, Catwoman, and Penguin. You know, that was my first exposure to Adam West Batman, and from then on, I've been a fan. And when the entire show finally got released on Blu-ray, I bought that as soon as I possibly could, and I adore it. I adore Adam West as Batman. Again, for the time period that it was in, very good. If you want a more accurate portrayal as the character, Adam West is clearly not for you. It's an acquired taste, but I respect Adam West and all he did for the Batman character. He was the first guy to bring that character to mainstream attention. You cannot take that away from him. And having his career be bookended by voicing Return of the Cape Crusaders and Batman vs. Two-Face was a nice end cap to Adam West's life and his career. Coming in at number 3 is Christian Bale from the Nolan trilogy. I like Christian Bale as an actor. I am a fan. I like his portrayal as Bruce Wayne. I think Christian Bale is that first actor to really capture the billionaire playboy spirit as the Bruce Wayne character. This guy who just sees something and buys it, who doesn't take anything seriously. And then when you get to his portrayal as Batman, he's pretty much who he is. This dark, brooding, loner type of guy. Now, all jokes aside when it comes to Christian Bale, yes, his Batman voice has been imitated to death. It's not intimidating in the slightest. He's not Batman, he's Cancer Man. Like, where's Rachel? No, that shit is unintentionally funny. And yeah, the whole tactical armor thing, listen, for what Nolan was going for, with the whole grounded realism, for its time, it worked. But when you watch it back now, it's really one of the worst Batman suits that the characters even wore. But to Christian Bale's credit, he made it work. Like, in terms of actually portraying Batman as a fighter, I thought Christian Bale was really, really good. In terms of portraying Bruce Wayne, I thought he was really, really good. But in terms of playing Batman as an intimidating figure, a creature of the night, hit and miss, very, very spotty. But overall, I enjoyed Christian Bale's performance. He made it work. Coming in at number 2 is Ben Affleck. Now, this Ben Affleck's position on my list is going to upset the Schneider stands, and I don't care. A list is based on your own personal perception, not based on the public perception. That's why Ben Affleck to me is number 2. At face value, I was not against Ben Affleck playing the character of Bruce Wayne / Batman, mainly because up to his casting, I had seen The Town, I had seen Argo, I had seen Gone Girl, 3 movies where Ben Affleck was fantastic and really sold me that he can pull it off. When you watch the movie, Ben Affleck was one of the very few bright spots of BVS. His portrayal as Batman Bruce Wayne was great. His portrayal as Batman was fantastic. I love seeing this Batman who's 20 years into his career, jaded, cynical. He no longer cares about bringing criminals to justice. He cares more about just implanting fear, and if he has to kill you, he's going to kill you and not flinch twice about it. I like this version of Batman. This is what I call no gives a fucks Batman. He's so far gone that nothing's going to bring him back. As Batman, Ben Affleck's portrayal to me is fantastic. His physicality as Batman harkens back to the Arkham games, which is fantastic too. The warehouse scene in BVS still stands out. Still a great scene. In terms of his portrayal as Bruce Wayne, I don't feel we got enough scenes of him playing the Bruce Wayne socialite. We get that one scene where he goes to Lex's gala and chats with Clark, but we never really see a whole lot after that. We mostly see Bruce Wayne just drinking real alcohol, and having conversations with Alfred. But to me, those aren't scenes of Bruce Wayne. Those are scenes as Batman mask. Those are scenes as Bruce Wayne just acting like Batman, only as Bruce Wayne. The difference between Bruce Wayne and Batman is this. Bruce Wayne is the mask. He's the billionaire socialite who is just larger than life. And Batman is who Bruce really is, this tortured guy. Even though Batman is, even though Bruce Wayne is extraordinarily wealthy and very, very rich, he's still a human being at his core. He's still a human being. And Batman reflects everything that Bruce Wayne lost at an early age. Bruce Wayne never had a chance to have a childhood. And that's the reflection that I got with Ben Affleck's portrayal as the Batman character. As the Bruce Wayne character, we get snippets, not enough. But overall, I thought Ben Affleck is a very good addition. And I liked him better than Christian Bale, to be quite honest with you. And now, for my honorable mentions. Kevin Conroy, who voiced the character from the 1992 animated series and to now. Kevin Conroy is my definitive voice for the Batman character. Every time I read a Batman comic book, I hear Kevin Conroy's voice. He is that iconic, and his portrayal of the character is that outstanding and amazing. You can't go wrong with Kevin Conroy. And the fact that he had a chance to play it in live action is pretty cool. I think that Batwoman TV show kind of took that and made a mockery out of it. But to see Kevin Conroy had the chance to play it live action was something that he had earned over the last 20-something, over the last 30 years of playing the character. Even though, to me, the Batwoman show disrespected that moment. Coming in number 2 is Bruce Greenwood. Bruce Greenwood voiced the character in Under the Red Hood and Gotham by Gaslight. And in those two portrayals, as the character of Batman through voice acting, I think Bruce Greenwood did a fantastic job. Everyone loves Under the Red Hood as being as being one of the best Batman movies, and it really is. But a lot of people don't give Bruce Greenwood the credit he deserves as voicing the character in a really cool way. And doing it again in Gotham by Gaslight. A very underrated Batman voice actor. Even though he played the character twice, to me, they're in two very memorable movies, with one being considered one of the greats, and another one, to me, underappreciated. I like Gotham by Gaslight. And coming in, and the third honorable mention is Peter Weller, RoboCop himself. Watch the animated adaptation of Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. Peter Weller does a fantastic job at bringing that version of Batman to life. I think his performance as Old Man Bruce Wayne is underrated, underappreciated, and damn right awesome. And finally, at number 1, Michael Keaton. I got a Michael Keaton bias. I grew up on Batman 89. I grew up on Batman Returns. I love Michael Keaton as an actor. He's one of my all-time favorites. I love his portrayal as Batman. He has that right amount of mysticism that harkens back to his 1939 portrayal by Bill Finger and Bob Kane. And I enjoy him as Bruce Wayne, as how he can act like sort of a social awkward in some circles. And then in other circles, when he's around a more closer net of people, he's more laid back and more himself. Michael Keaton did a really good job to me at differentiating Bruce Wayne from Batman. And he did it in a very unique way by just doing subtle changes to his voice. When he's Bruce Wayne, he's his normal voice. When he's Batman, he lowers it a little bit into an intimidating whisper in a way. And if you're not paying attention, you can easily miss it. Very subtle things. That's what makes Michael Keaton a very good actor, is the subtleties. And that's actually something that Kevin Conroy adopted from Michael Keaton's performance as the character, which is fantastic. So yeah, those are my ranking of these six live-action Batman with 3 honorable mentions. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below. Like this video and subscribe. And let's see if Robert Pattinson can hold his own in such elite company. I'm AJ Legend, and I'll see you next time.